Welcome to the Home Services Success Stories podcast powered by Peakzi, the #1 AI platform for growing your home services business. And on the show today, we have Tom Teynor, who is the CEO and owner at Bell Plumbing. Tom, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm glad to be here. I'm doing well. Thanks for
Yeah,
having me.
absolutely. Did I pronounce your last name correctly? Is that right?
It's Tyner, but you
Tyner.
got really close.
Okay, well,
Very
Tom,
close.
Tom Teynor, owner and CEO at Bell Plumbing. It's great to have you on. So Tom, let's kind of jump right in and start sharing a bit more about your story. So first off, congrats on Bell about to celebrate its 100th year in serving the Denver area. Is that right?
hmm That's
That's
correct.
that's amazing. So share a bit about Bell and really what do you attribute to your track record of excellence?
Well, we're really excited that this is our 100th year. We are rounding the corner to actually having completed our 100th year, which is amazing. The organization started off in Denver in 1926, and it's been responsible for some really big firsts in Denver. For example, we were the first organization to bring in a garbage disposal, believe it or not, to the Denver market. And the business went through four generations of family ownership. So it was owned by the Bell family for a period of time. We're now still locally owned. And I think our success has really been driven off of the fact that we just have we have a strong commitment to serving our customers. We are very focused on excellence, and we think that that's a part that separates us maybe from some of the other organizations in the metro area.
So I know that trust, as you mentioned, is a really big thing, and especially when it comes to home services, you are entrusted with people's like most prized asset, which is their home. So what are some things that Bell does specifically to build that trust with customers?
Well, I wish that I could tell you absolutely everything we do because the list is long and we really do focus on this. But I can tell you just anecdotally, just a quick story. I received a call from a woman who is 101 years old and she's been doing business with Bell, she said, for 70 years. And that was a generational value that she'd sort of helped her family actually work into trusting Bell as well. So three generations of her family have come back and worked with Bell because we built such a strong relationship and trust. And that's just one example of many in our organization. But one of the reasons that I think customers trust us is because we have a very strong focus on being consultative. When you think about the world today, there are individuals that they have expertise and help that they get guidance on, whether it be spiritual, whether it be health, whether it be for their finances, right? But who helps you with arguably one of your best and largest investments, your home, right? It's a place you live and interact in every day. And we really focus on helping our technicians provide really strong guidance to diagnose things really well and then give customers options and allow them to make the choice that's best for them. If someone has a furnace, for example, that's 12 years old and starting to falter, some homeowners that live in the home on a regular basis would choose to repair that unit. Others who maybe are splitting time between Phoenix and Denver, they might decide, you know what, I don't want this to break down when I'm at my winter home in Phoenix. I just want to go ahead and get this replaced. And we're not going to judge. Each homeowner has their own needs, and we want to make sure that we're going to serve their needs, not try to push one agenda or another. And I think that's one of the big differentiators for us in the Denver market between some of the other service providers.
So it really is understanding the needs of the customer, meeting them where they are, not trying to be sort of what's nice fits all, but really
Mhm.
servicing the needs of the customer through a consultative approach.
Very consultative. It's driven by the customer. And I think they trust us because we're able to give them all their different options. And there are times where maybe another organization might come in and suggest a very large repair where we're able to get things up and running and delay that larger expense for another time and really give the homeowner that option. And I think they get very comfortable with our technicians. Matter of fact, this month, we have a technician, a plumber that's worked with us for 30 years. He's retiring now finally. And it's interesting because we have so many customers that request him. They've built a relationship with Jim specifically over that time period. And so, the fact that we have some longevity with our employees and we take this consultative approach, I think homeowners just get comfortable and they understand that, well, we might be slightly more expensive. The value that they're receiving is just tremendous. And they learn to really just trust the guidance we provide.
And also, I know a thing that is a unique aspect of Bell is like the benchmark for your technicians. From what I understand,
Mhm.
they're individually licensed, union trained, have a minimum of 5 years experience. So how do you go about attracting that caliber of talent?
Well, one of the things that we really focus on is the training, the education, and making sure that we attract highly qualified technicians. Um, we are really focused on making sure that that diagnosis and that the analysis of whatever the situation is in the customer's home is done really well. And we find that those that have been in the market, have had the experience, are going to be best at doing that. And so, as a union based contractor, we're actually one of the only union contractors that serve the residential market in the Denver metro area. We really have a very strong group of individuals. And so, we offer very competitive benefits and pay. The way that we approach our hiring practices in part is based off of our values. And we find that technicians are really interested in coming over to Bell and really trying to find a home that they can be at for the rest of their career. And that really adds a lot of value and team camaraderie, and a strong focus and service value set with each one of our technicians. And so that's a big part of what we offer to our homeowners. We're not going to put a second year apprentice on an HVAC install job as an example. We're going to have a licensed minimum 5 years experience journeyman HVAC technician along with that implementation of that new HVAC equipment. And I think that provides just a lot of confidence to our customers at the end of the day.
You talked a bit about values. What are some of those core values that you think Bell is known for sticking to and also attracting the right folks, the right talent to match those values? What are some of those?
Sure. Well, we definitely are focused on excellence, right? We really focus on trying to make sure that all of the work we're doing is really benefiting our customers. We try to get rid of any work that doesn't add any value to our customers. And so that excellence combined with high integrity, right? One of the things that I preach on a regular basis with our technicians is that we really try to optimize the right solution for the customer. We're not going to sell something to someone that they don't need, nor are we going to leave out options that a customer might choose. And so that value of it is about the customer, it's about our excellence and our integrity, because that's the most important thing. We are in the service business. And the way that the management team here treats our employees is largely the way that our employees are going to then work with our customers. And we have a real strong feeling with that. I speak with customers on almost a daily basis. I get a good sense of what's happening in the market. I resolve issues. And I use those connections as a way to demonstrate that throughout this entire business, we are in the service business and we're there to serve our customers. And I think it's that integrity, the excellence, the focus on service, and that high quality professionalism are all values that really help our customers at the end of the day solve their challenges.
And I think what's great is that you have a track record that is easy to point to and back up all those things
Mhm.
that you said. 100 years. How many businesses that you know are 100 years old? That is a true rarity within the marketplace, particularly in home services.
It absolutely is, and even going through four generations of family ownership. When I got my MBA, I had the opportunity to learn with a very impressive professor at my school, and one of the things we discussed is the fact that by the fourth generation of a family-run business, generally the success rate is quite low, and I think that the values that were instilled from one generation to another that frankly persist today is a real testament to the fact that we found a recipe that works, that consumers enjoy and appreciate. And I think the other component that we've really leaned into in the last 5 years is we've really taken the business into the into the technology age. And so we're leaning into the ability, for example, to book online, to make sure that consumers are receiving text messages letting them know that an appointment's coming up, giving them options to reach out to us after hours, and sort of handle things in a way that's just much more efficient, right? All of our paperwork and everything is digital these days, which just drives so much efficiency and makes it a lot easier for our customers as they move through a transaction.
So really enhancing the way that you do business, touch the customer, the entire experience end to
Mhm.
end. I think that's really great. I also know that Bell does some services that are even unique amongst home services, like boiler repair, backflow testing,
Mhm.
Tesla Powerwall installation. Speak to a bit about some of those services.
Well, one of the things we want to make sure is that we provide is a breadth of a breadth. We want to be able to handle each of the different systems within a customer's home. And as consumers continue to accelerate their need and their interest in smart homes, as an example, or backups, a Tesla Powerwall or other backup generator situation is becoming increasingly important as grid reliability starts to struggle a bit. Here in Colorado, we see Excel during very windy days, as an example, starting to have rolling, service disconnections to avoid fires and other things that can happen. And so we're getting demand from consumers. We're seeing demand for things like those power walls, and we want to make sure that we are educated. We're now certified with Tesla for EV chargers, for their power walls. We want to make sure that we're there for customers based on the evolving and changing needs. Now, the other interesting thing that's emerged is that boiler repair is actually very complicated. There is definitely an expertise. It's both an art and a science. And we have some of the best boiler techs in the Denver area. Other companies have chosen to get out of it because it is difficult to maintain strong expertise, journeymen with 5 years experience that have been working on boilers for a long time. That can be a real challenge. And so some companies have said, you know what, we're going to step away from the boiler repair, to the point where we receive leads, and actually we have other home services businesses referring customers to us for boiler repair, as an example. And so we
Wow.
want to help our customers really achieve a couple things. We want them to be super safe in their home. If they want really good water quality, they want to make sure that the air quality in their home is strong, we can help them with that. But we also want to help them automate if that's something that's important to them. And I think that these are some things that have started to really emerge over the last, 15 years. And we've seen certainly an accelerated movement towards those items here in the last 5 years.
Any other exciting services that you see based on trends within the market that Bell plans to get into?
We are really focused in on our core. I think it's really easy in the home services business to sort of say, geez, there's so much opportunity to move into home automation, or to move into garage door repair, or start to, expand kind of beyond what that core is. And I think what we're really focused on is being consultative on the major systems, the really key core infrastructure components within a consumer's home. And we want to do that really well. We want to offer the energy efficiency if they want it. We want to make sure that those systems that we are the go-to source for each one of those systems.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. So Tom, you are a customer of Peakzi, and this podcast, of course, is brought to you by Peakzi. So what has been your experience working with Peakzi and their team?
It's been great. We really have appreciated the connection. It gives us insight. We talked about starting to lean into technology more so that we can provide the best opportunity and the best services. And so, I think homeowners generally they increasingly expect transparency. They want a quick response. They want to find a solution to their problem very quickly. And with trustworthy providers, there's 100 home service providers in the Denver area. How do you sort of dig through all of that and find the right relationship that's going to work for you as a homeowner? That can feel overwhelming, especially when you have no hot water, or it's the middle of winter and your heat's out. And so, I think with Peakzi, which I think has this sort of AI driven discovery, I think homeowners who are a good fit for Bell quickly can get matched with us. It helps them avoid having to shift, kind of sift through all these generic listings and like read reviews. And, any home service business, unfortunately, is not going to be able to 100% completely satisfy every customer. And trying to dig through reviews can be kind of overwhelming and kind of a challenge, right? And I think that this really helps us enable the ability to kind of surface reviews and show our credentials, show that we're licensed, that we've been in the business for 100 years. We have that staying power and that longevity, and we're obviously doing something right. Being able to demonstrate that we have service guarantees and show that up front just gives homeowners a better opportunity to vet, get transparent pricing, understand what our warranties are, and really understand why we're different than maybe the other service providers that are out in the marketplace today.
Gotcha. What would you say has been the most measurable outcome for the business since using Peakzi?
It's probably a better question for my marketing department at the end of the day. But, we are very focused on trying to make sure we can provide, because we believe we deliver such a superior and more significant service than our competitors. We really think that our objective is to make sure that everybody in the Denver area knows this. And for us, the general awareness, that transparency, and that speed to for customers to make decisions really is a driver for us in terms of why we chose Peakzi as a platform.
Gotcha. Okay. So kind of like what you mentioned earlier, you adapt technology based on how better can you serve your customers? Where are they searching for information? And this is another tool in your toolkit when it comes to
It is.
implementing that. So that makes a lot of sense. So okay. Well, Tom, we're getting close to land the plane here. You have a tremendous track record of success with Bell. Been around for 100 years. So what is your vision for the company?
The vision for the company, honestly, is to continue to grow and expand. I mean, we are continuing to see Denver homeowners, move from one home to another. They want to make sure that we're going to be there to help service and provide them with, that next solution. And, our vision is that we are a community asset. We believe that we're going to be here for another 100 years. We're going to continue to adopt technologies. We're going to continue to maintain the values, and that combination of meeting our customers where they are by adopting technology while maintaining the values that we've always offered has been a winning formula. And the vision for this organization is to continue to build relationships, enduring relationships that frankly transcend generations. We hope that parents are introducing their kids as they become homeowners to Bell, and possibly even introducing their kids as their kids look for jobs. The trades have increasingly become a great place, especially with the emergence of AI, for a lot of the younger generation as they look at their options. They're increasingly coming to Bell. So we see ourselves as a strong community player, both in terms of employment within this the Denver metro area, meeting our customers with solving their issues and meeting them where they need to be met to solve their challenges, and just continuing to deliver the strong service and building trusting relationships that endure. So, we, I think, are pretty focused on our customer, and we let our customers kind of tell us what they need.
I love that. I think that's a very inspiring a vision for the future indeed. So, well, Tom, close us out. Anything else you'd like to share about Bell?
One of the things I'd like to share is I just want to say, thank you to the customers that have worked with Bell over the last 100 years. We're only here because our customers choose to call us on a daily basis. And, for me, that means everything, right? I got into the service business because I think service and serving others is, truly one of life's gifts and truly transforms not just, me as an individual, but I think this entire organization. And I think that, given everything going on in the world today, that it's a small way to demonstrate, how we can all work together to make our current environment just a better place for everybody to be in. And that's what we're going to be focused on. And so I just want to thank our customers for trusting us, and certainly extend my heartfelt thanks, but also a promise that we're going to continue to deliver on the values that we've delivered on in the past.
And I think that's a terrific message for your customers indeed. So, well, Tom, tell us all how to connect with you. What's your social? What's your website? Plug all that.
Sure. Well, we're certainly across all the socials, without a doubt. Best ways to get a hold of us, you can text us, you can go to bellplumbing.com. There's a scheduling link right in the upper right-hand corner. You can certainly give us a call. You can reach us at 300 or I'm sorry, 303-757-5661. And we're available, really to answer calls and help customers at any point in time. One of the things that I also offer to our customers, if somebody wants a second opinion or they've heard something that they're just not quite sure of, I talk with customers all the time. I give my cell phone out regularly. I get calls saying, "Hey, I just got this quote. I'm just not sure what to do." We talk it through, and for one reason or another, it might make sense for them to take a different pathway. But a lot of times, that extra help makes it feel like they have somebody in the business that can sort of help them out.
Wow, well, you certainly do live your values and even super accessible being the owner and CEO of the company. So I think that's great. Well, Tom, thank you so much for sharing your story and everything about Bell today. This has been a really wonderful conversation. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. It's been great talking with you.
And everyone, that's it for today's episode. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Home Services Success Stories podcast powered by Peakzi, the #1 AI platform for growing your home services business.